right, what do we got today from Bundt Insurance Agency?
Well, coming up with these topics and all that, I was watching a lot of stuff on cyber and the war and everything, getting really prepared for it, and then we had tornadoes.
Yeah.
So we decided to switch it up, and we're going to talk about disaster plans.
Okay.
Right. So you know how I always say, don't wait for a claim to find out you're not covered and all that kind of stuff. Well, this kind of goes along the same lines. You don't want to wait until you see the funnel cloud and go like, what are we going to do?
Exactly.
So it's really...
Especially waking up and you're like, where is everybody? What's going on?
Yeah.
Being lost and not having an understanding or prepared, it will really cause people to make poor decisions.
Right. Just like the other day when we had the storm, I moved into a different office and I don't have a window. I didn't even know it was raining, let alone that it was fixing to get really hairy. So we definitely recommend that you make a plan.
So basically, with your family, you need to really think about who's all in your family, what type of plan you're planning for. Is it tornadoes? Is it fires? Is it, God forbid, a school shooting? There's all sorts of disasters out there that need a plan. Now, this is not necessarily insurance. This is more top of the mind awareness of making sure that that everybody in your household understands what is happening. So that way, if something does occur, you can go, okay, little Timmy's going to be at school, but he knows this is where he meets us. My husband's at work. He knows what to do. All these things that allow you to better focus on what needs to be done at hand versus worrying about everyone else. But family always comes first. So that's why you should build your plan around your family first.
Well, I know with what we had on Monday, there was a lot of people that were looking for family members. So that's something that you kind of say, okay, look, in case of disaster, in case something happens, if the cell phones are out or whatever, we need to have a meeting place.
Exactly, a meeting place is exactly. And that could be basically any kind of disaster, a fire, weather, God forbid, like you said, school shooting. You have to just assume that, like you said, assume that you will not have access to your cell phone and know where everybody's going to meet. Whether, it's you have a plan in a fire and your kids are going to go out one way and you're out, whatever the story is, but that you're going to meet right here so we know everybody's okay. That's really important.
And another thing is, it's not just making the plan, but also updating it, review it and all that. Because I know, like with a lot of businesses, they make these plans and then they put it in a filing cabinet or hang it on the wall and no one looks at it for 20 years. And then when it happens, you're like, what? We have a plan?
Yeah. So you definitely need to review it. Even, with your kids, even with your employees, practice it. Remember in school, y'all may be too young, but in school we used to have a plan. We would have a fake
fire drill
outside, or a tornado where we all put our hands over our head because that was going to save us. And
when we had our tornado back at school, I remember we all went down into the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun until, the lights went out and then the ominous glow of cell phones came on.
Yeah, well, we didn't have cell phones, nor did we have a basement.
We weren't supposed to have them.
Yeah, they didn't exist when I was in school.
So, yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about. But, there's also, identify responsibilities of each member. When you're making these plans, make sure every member of your household is part of it and they have their own responsibilities and they know what they're supposed to do. Not just, hey, by the way, you're going to go out this way. You drill it because, as far as I know, kids forget a lot. Throw away your trash. Oh, it's still there 6 days later. Great.
Yeah.
Well, I know with the younger guys, it's something very important because one of the things I heard over the weekend, or heard this last couple of days, is that some of the meeting places were at the kids' school because they knew the little guys couldn't get access like the high schoolers could to meeting places, and they were meeting up at some of the schools and stuff. You got to make a plan where it's going to be conducive to the whole family.
Right, and so your family needs a plan, your business needs a plan. Like for example, our plan for Bundt Insurance might be a little different because once we make sure that our employees, their families are safe, then our next step in a disaster is to find out what areas were affected and start trying to get in touch with our clients to see if they need us. So
now that was my next question.
Okay.
Let's say a business or an individual okay, Brian Insurance is our insurance agency. We just had the tornado come through. What's the next step?
Well, we reached out to everybody that we could get in touch with, but basically make sure that you and your family are safe, and then contact us, and we will be available 24/7 if something like that happens. Of course, they can call the radio station, because while y'all are giving they can call to get in touch with us. They all have our information. Like I said, we're reaching out, but it's important for your business. Safety first, of course, but then for your business, I read a statistic that 25% of businesses will not open again after a disaster.
Oh, wow.
And so, and that's from the Small Business Administration is where that. So, you need a plan. Of course, you need insurance. We're not here to talk about insurance today, but you need a plan to get things back going as quickly as you can, get everybody safe, and then figure out how you're going to take care of your business.
Now, I was noticing some people were reaching out saying, okay, look, my roof got hit. I need a tarp. This got hit. I need this or that. That kind of thing. As far as, the insurance part of it, I mean, when somebody has a situation like that, should they get up and contact, like, let's say a roofer, or should they get up and try to do things on their own to begin with?
It depends on the circumstances, but as a general rule, do what you need to do to protect your property from further damage, because as much as we would like to say in 30 minutes we'll have an adjuster to see, that's not feasible. The insurance companies do go in full alert mode when something like this happens, and they get out there pretty quickly. But you use the tarp as an example. Do what you are capable of doing to protect from further damage.
And the reason why I asked that question is because as a person, I'm glad you handle all this stuff, because I don't know. My first thought would be, okay, if I get up and start messing around with stuff, this might cancel my insurance or something like that.
No.
Okay.
If possible, take some pictures. Keep up with what you've spent to protect that property.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
Okay, so folks can work on their own, and it's not going to affect anything.
Yeah, don't have your roof replaced before somebody comes and looks at it.
Right.
But get a tarp. Do what you need to
Only
do.
just get you through until you can get that. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's pretty much with anything. Look at it like if you have a car wreck. You're not going to sit out there in the middle of the street till your adjuster comes. You're going to do what you need to do.
I guess what the deal with a car wreck is, like, you hear all the time, don't touch anything, don't move anything,
Right.
don't do anything until police get here or whatever. That's why I was wondering, where your home or a business, don't touch anything, don't do anything till somebody gets here.
Well, that's true with the police.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that's a totally different. That's first party liability. And
But a guy like me who doesn't know anything about insurance, that would be my first thought.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, most people do move vehicles. They'll get them out of the road. They'll get them in safety. They'll make sure everybody. There's your typical things, and a lot of times you can reconstruct accidents in a very accurate way. But yeah, there's always those people. If you move that vehicle and they come back and they're like, "Well, I wasn't there. It was over here." And now you're having a his say, he say kind of situation, and then that's where it gets hairy.
And we all carry these cameras with us.
Photos.
Take pictures. Yeah.
There are situations where you need to really think about what you're doing before. I heard a story the other day. Again, not one of our clients, but just a story. The guy came across an accident. There was a semi driver running down the road. There was parts strewn everywhere. The driver was like, "Oh my gosh, I hit a truck. I can't find the guy." So they went looking for him. They found him, the truck, out in the field. He was pinned underneath it with his arm under the A-pillar. And what occurred was the person that arrived on scene was trying to help the gentleman out of the truck. He was screaming in pain. The driver was like, don't touch anything until the police get here. He's taking photos of everything. When we have the victim sitting underneath a trapped vehicle. Well, is that the brightest thing in the world to do? No. So there are situations that you need to really look at.
That's why I was asking that question, because if somebody's house got hit by a tornado, because we don't know what we can touch and what we can't touch, and so that's why it's one. So do take pictures.
Common sense, man.
And get yourself in a position that you're safe. That's the main thing.
I do want to throw this out there. I found some really good resources if you're starting from scratch on a disaster program, and of course your insurance company may have some things as well, but For individuals, the Red Cross has a great website, and then for businesses, the Small Business Administration, they have pretty much listed just about any kind of disaster that can happen, and there's checklists, there's all kind of good stuff, and that's free information.
Excellent.
So yeah, that's some stuff that we found, and like I said, we really do our best to be there for our clients. Just we don't wait till 8:39 the next day. We're there trying to get in touch, but if you don't hear from us, you get in touch with us ASAP if you've had, so we can get you help.
All right, well, how folks get a hold of y'all?
They can come see us at the second floor of Ciera Bank Building or call us at 940-549-2525.
Or you can come see us in Hudson Oaks, 2950 Fort Worth Highway, Suite 500, 817-770-0096.
Or I guess online too.
Yeah, at
BrianINS.com, Brian with a Y.
yeah.
All right, folks, if you have had some disaster or had some damage at your place and Brian Insurance is your insurer, please give them a call, 549-2525.
Yes.
Or if you're needing insurance,
Yes.
definitely. All right, guys, thank y'all for coming by.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.